Cognitive Investigative Services offers each target victim our Take Action Now strategy in effort to take control, make progress and focus your frustration, torment, pain, suffrage and anger by channeling your emotions into constructive outreach and preparing for attorney contact. Based on the complete and utter failure of local law enforcement, the FBI, the DOJ, the FCC, the ATF, the EPA, the CDC, the NIH, FEMA, the NSA, the DIA, the DNI, the CIA, DARPA and the U.S. military have failed us. They are to protect and serve we the people from a weapon of mass destruction literally gentrifying us. The true patriots of this unratified silent psyops war on U.S. citizens are the targeted victims fighting to end this constitutional anarchy on our nation and way of life. Our government has neglected its primary responsibility which they are entrusted and empowered is to protect us. Millions have died directly and indirectly on their watch over 30 years from assisted suicide without consent, illegal human experimentation, government-sanctioned assassinations by Manchurian candidate or proxy, diseases, cancers, neurological disorders, heart attacks, strokes, aneurysms and many other ailments. We must stand together as tormented victims with congruency as we are unheard and unseen violent crime victims that have been left behind to suffer without reprieve in plain view. How could there be a more pertinent national security issue beyond an ongoing genocide so atrocious it would literally make Hitler jealous as torturing and escorting Holocaust victims to cyanide showers seems like a mercy killing over years of systematically torture and destroying families and decimating the victim piece by piece until little if anything of their former selves remain. Bioresonance and microwave weapons utilizing mind control technologies should never be used on civilians, especially our own citizens. With a unified message and directive we will create public awareness and eventually bring this unnecessary technically induced inhumanity to an end, putting weaponized remote neural monitoring to rest once and for all. This unification includes the understanding that the invisible invasion of our bodies, minds and soul is a collimation U.S. government mind control technology invented with taxpayer money by the CIA and ARPA, now called DARPA, in the 1950s MK Ultra era, and has continued with various name changes since, including Project Extraordinary Rendition, Operation Bloodstone, Guinea Pig, Blue Beam, Monarch and today rumored to be called Ventriloquist. Acoustic petrodyning or synthetic telepathy, synthetic clairvoyance or projected holograms.
When you think of vision, you may think that it's all taking place in the eyes, but most of the work is actually being done in the brain, and put the information directly into the brain. And then a little computer would deliver that information and recreate visual images.
My brain is going to see things the way that they're supposed to appear, and that's what we are working on now.
Forced BBI or brain-to-brain interface. Secret virtual mind prisons utilizing neural signatures stored within EBLs or electronic brain link systems, distributing scalar waves to the targeted victim's DNA as a transceiver via DNA sequencing bioresonance, remote fRMI acquisition, ELF via an over-the-horizon radar, EMF by satellite or drone or IR via satellite, cellular towers of electronics inducing visual and auditory effects not by dark web hackers, China, Russia, gods, angels, aliens, cartel members, bikers, gang members, psychics, neighbors or exes, as attempts are often made to cover up this nightmare. These are U.S. government neural networks, ESAs, RODs and Allegiant proxies or preps that are U.S. government employees and contractors acting in an official capacity which is condescending to their oath, purpose and negates the victim's basic human rights. These nefarious actors' only job is to suppress, confuse, manipulate and modify your behavior through well-organized, well-funded and well-documented torture tactics and methods. The U.S. government and individual agencies are guilty of dereliction of duty, conduct unbecoming, criminal neglect and complicity in a conspiracy to obstruct justice by concealing and failing to prevent and prosecute violent crimes previously identified by two previous administrations. We recognize that each and every victim's experience is different by design and intent by the perpetrators for concealment of their crimes, but in general most victims have the same symptomology once elevated or educated upon. If are willing to study the U.S. patent list provide, agree with this general assessment of the U.S. government responsibility to protect, probable complicity in criminal activities, you fee the technical patent design consequence relates to your symptoms and you are willing to testify under oath, we invite you to join our free class action lawsuit found at cistech.info, lawsuit sign up. You are also welcome to utilize our materials, videos, documents, contact us by phone and schedule a request to reach out to your family members along with having our support in testifying on your behalf in any legal matter for joining our pursuit of freedom and justice. Upon completion of your free class action lawsuit pre-screening, we will reach out to you or you may contact us at 602-769-0036. After our conversation and verification, we will submit your information to the law firm holding victims in your state. They will reach out to you individually. Ensure you remind them you are part of the CIS class action to guarantee you are grouped with fellow victims, get benefit of our legal arguments, materials, testimony, experts, witnesses, support and are represented under our pre-negotiated contingency fee agreement. Upon completion of the class action lawsuit sign-up, you will receive an email including our Take Action strategy, which is a series of recommendations we suggest you consider following. We do request you create a short video testimony based on the outline provided and please email that to ask@systec.info. Additional recommendations to prepare for the attorney contact and document submission include: number 1, journaling your entire experience from the beginning to include any and all details, situations, communications, visuals, individuals involved and a description as to how the torture has negatively affected your life mentally, physically, emotionally and financially. Number 2, we recommend you file complaints online and make phone calls to all the government agencies, local and national news outlets and civil rights advocates listed within the body of the email referencing the example complaint provided and online at cistech.info under the TI Victim Take Action section. Number 3, we recommend you gather your medical records, pictures and any documented proof related to your mental, physical and/or emotional ailments to provide to the attorney upon contact. You may also wish to consider scheduling appointments with your providers if needed to continue collection for undocumented ailments such as burns, rashes, migraines, phosphenes, cognitive issues, fatigue, phantom pains, tissue damage, hair loss, immune disorders, neurological disorders, endocrine disorders, limbic disorders, cellular disorders, fibromyalgia, neuropathy, chronic pain, vision issues, tinnitus, radiation poisoning or readings, excessive inflammation, depression, suicidal thought, etc. Number 4, we also recommend sending FOIA requests to the agencies listed within the body of the email and website and save each response or receipt for documentation purposes. Number 5, we appreciate your consideration as joining our volunteer media and outreach team as we are a non-profit. This simply consists of your coordination with us in your free time to help others in need and without an honest place to turn. By disseminating the factual research we offer freely, victims get answers and assistance in understanding the technologies used to torment them while also bringing them focus on the root cause and not be led astray or confused by a litany of theoretical possibilities leading them to dead end or difficult to prove in court. For example, we educate victims on the technologies most likely affecting them, the source, distribution methods, tactics and how they are implemented. For example, the differences between surveillance-based RNM or remote neural monitoring and the weaponized voice of God variant. V2K or voice to skull, BBI or brain-to-brain interface, BCI or brain-computer interface, HMI or human-machine interface, VM or voice monitoring, PM or polygraph meter, MK or mind control, multi or visual monitoring, RE or reverse integration, lock or locate, and waves types M. Electromagnetic, ELF. Emitted low frequencies, IR or infrared, and applications such as subliminal to masses, subconscious and specifically targeted individual infusions. We stay away from older technologies such as a requirement for RFID implants and difficult to collect technologies such as nanotech. Neither is needed to achieve an acoustic paradigm or visual cortex induction. The same technologies are used in a positive sense without the need for psychological torment, physical distress, invasion of every privacy, emotional and mental state modification, grooming, conditioning and brainwashing tactics. Like the airborne ultrasound tactile display used by fighter pilots within their helmet utilizing a phased array of acoustic transducers, this system demonstrates the ability for the user to interactively manipulate virtual holographic objects with their mind and receive audio. This is a great example relating to the wireless no-implant required terror experienced by targeted victims relating to the psychological trauma of being mentally imprisoned in a virtual construct surrounded by holograms when their eyes are open and closed, and audible torment received 24 hours a day without the ability to turn it off, silence the noise or walk away from the inhumanity of this weapon. Another similar technology that's commercially available and relative is infrared and electromagnetic wave contact-less hearing aids and hearing loops, as this technology mirrors the cochlear petrodyning heard by victims, including sounds, voices and looped communications. Since 1995, you can acquire a neural signature remotely via satellite, infrared, resonance frequency or DNA sequencing to ions, datasets and individual tuned bioresonance or vice versa neural signature ions, datasets to DNA bioresonance and your DNA as a transceiver. No chip, no nanotech, implants or circuitry required, and this truth presented to a victim and jury provides the most probable implementation methods and means of this technology upon targeted victims whom tracked, monitored, manipulated, harassed, tortured, tormented, non-consensually experimented upon, victims of slavery, human trafficking, radiation poisoning, and tailor to that victim so audible and visual inductions are imperceivable to anyone else but that specific individual it was coded and tuned to. If interested in volunteering, please refer victims to the lawsuit, share our videos like they were your own, communicate with other victims, share your knowledge and experiences to assist in ensuring they're not left behind. We will educate you on how to speak to victims or do it for you. As victims and advocates, we find helping others in need is the best medicine amidst this nightmare of psyops insanity. You may visit, share and create any social media platform or your choice, or join any related groups while representing us as a volunteer. We merely ask you agree to represent us respectfully, honestly, and treat victims with dignity, and that you sincerely contribute to the greater good of others. Our pledge is to assist the suffering, misled and misrepresented, a time of great neglect where sincere help and understanding is sparse. Please spread the word on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Trust Social, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, Quora, Reddit, Discord, LinkedIn, Snapchat, etc. Please use our templates as a guide to tailor your own FOLA requests and notices to news outlet, newspapers, journalists, filmmakers, politicians, activist groups, civil rights organizations, or anyone you feel will help bring public awareness to this tragedy in plain view. Become an advocate for change, not just a tormented victim forgotten by our government and fellow Americans. Show fellow victims a plausible, true and correct path to the root cause as being the U.S. government, the intended purpose being to disable, condition, manipulate, brainwash, modify, change your behavior and destroy everything you are. Also educate them on the technologies used upon them with extreme prejudice, little mercy, the tactics deployed and delivery methods. Information is both a weapon and a gift. It inhibits the uneducated and benefits the few in power. It is also the salvation for which the less fortunate can rise to defend themselves against a tyrant. Lastly, we will also reach out to your family members upon request and advocate for you and your situation through education and awareness. Cognitive Investigative Services thanks you.